Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Marla Mack from yourgenius.net. I'm a genius coach and human design specialist. In human design terms, I am a 1-3 manifesting generator with emotional authority. My mission is to help you get clear on your genius and get paid for it. Now, what is your genius? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's your natural gifts, talents, passions, skills, strengths, abilities, aptitudes, flair, awesomeness, power, mastery, challenges, lessons, and everything you have overcome, all rolled into one. Your genius is an expression of your soul and your purpose. Your genius is what you are here to offer the world. Your specific genius makes you absolutely unique, and you are the only person who can do what you do the way you do it. And people need that. See, your unique success blueprint, commonly known as your human design chart, helps in revealing your genius. Now, human design found me a few years ago, and it was life-changing. I realized I am not broken and I do not need to be fixed. I never was in that position that I ever needed to be fixed. I simply needed to better understand and appreciate my natural gifts and talents. Now, when I first downloaded my human design chart, there was no guidance available. I had no idea what I was looking at, so I put my chart aside. Now, luckily for me, only a few months had passed before I started digging into my design, and it shifted everything for me. But this is why I created the course called How to Read Your Human Design Chart. Now, the full course is over 90 minutes long, so there's a lot of content for you to discover. Now, no matter if you are brand new to human design or you have some idea already about your chart, you will get something out of the course. Now, I have a shortened version of the same course in this video, but if you want to jump straight into the full course for free on how to read your human design chart, go to my link below to access it. In the course, I will walk you through how to download your human design chart if you don't have one already, and I will walk you through the different parts of your chart and what they mean. Now, in a nutshell, I created exactly the course I wish existed when I first downloaded my human design chart. Enjoy! Welcome to How to Read Your Human Design Chart, a course on how to download and understand the elements of your chart. In this course, we're going to do a quick primer on human design, how to get your own human design chart for free, and an explanation of the different parts of your chart. First, what is human design? Human design is a synthesis of Eastern and Western astrology, the Hindu chakra system, the Judaic Kabbalah, the Chinese I Ching, quantum physics, and mathematics. Some people consider human design to be showing your true nature before you were nurtured, or in human design language, you were conditioned by society and the people around you. Your human design chart is a map of your energetics. So an energy map designed specifically for you and showing you your unique mechanics. Some people consider it your personal owner's manual. Your human design blueprint is rare, and when combined with your experiences, you are unique as your fingerprint. Your human design chart also helps show you and guide you on the important role you came here to play. You are an important piece of the cosmic plan, and you were designed perfectly for who you came here to be. That was your sole purpose. But for those who like more specifics on who they are and how they're naturally designed and who they came here to be, well, your human design chart is a great step in that direction. How to download your human design chart, or as I like to call it, your unique success blueprint. Before I show you how to download your chart, let me tell you about the information that you need to access your chart. You need your birth date, for example, May 24th, 1975. Your birth time, that is your local birth time. For example, 10:43 a.m. would be this person's birth time on May 24th, 1975. And the birth location, where were you born? In this case, Redding, California, in the United States is for this person. The city in your birth location's time zone. The time zone is what is important. The biggest question that comes up is, what if I don't know my birth time? Well, your birth time will impact the chart, and that's why it's important to be as specific as possible. Do you have access to your birth certificate? Some birth certificates contain birth time, perhaps family records. Now, if you don't have access to that information, if you have an approximate time, let's say a small window of time between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., you could choose the midpoint time, 10:30 a.m. for example, or test out and run a chart at 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., and 11 a.m. to see if there are any changes. A rule of thumb is if you are genuinely unsure about your birth time is to use 12 noon in your local birth location time zone. However, that can still impact, for example, if you were actually born at 8 o'clock at night, well, that's 8 hours difference, and the chart can change quite a bit in 8 hours. My suggestion is to consult a Vedic astrologer for a service called birth time rectification. Now, birth time rectification is not a service that every astrologer provides. Therefore, you will want an astrologer that specifically offers this service. One example of an astrologer that I know offers birth time rectification services is Clarinda Mann from astroenergetics.org. Once you have all of your information available, your birth location, your birth date, your birth time, go to hdchart.com. HD stands for human design. hdchart.com. It's a website that I developed that will lead you directly to the best place to get your human design chart if you do not have one already. Here we'll take a look at going to hdchart.com, the website, to get your human design chart. So when you go to the address bar, you don't need to type in the prefix. You can go straight to hdchart.com. Caps are not necessary. It will automatically enter in the HTTPS and take you to hdchart.com. As I mentioned, hdchart.com is a little mini website I created to make it easy to access both getting your human design chart and access the How to Read Your Human Design Chart free course if you're not already in the course. So I'll show you this. First step is to get your human design chart from Genetic Matrix. This is where this button will lead you. And if you scroll down, step 2 is to sign up and get instant access to the How to Read Your Human Design Chart online course. Once again, if you are not in it already, if you are watching this on a preview, This is how you can get to the How to Read Your Human Design Chart free online course at hdchart.com. Let's go back up and get your human design chart by clicking on Get My Free Chart Now. When you click on that button, it opens a brand new window and it takes you straight to the Genetic Matrix website, and more specifically, straight to the form to get your free human design chart. As mentioned on the website, this is a referral link from me. It is absolutely 100% completely free to get your human design chart. If you decide to make a purchase through Genetic Matrix for one of their services or one of their other charts, because it is a referral link, it is tracked back to me and I get a small credit for that. However, that is at no extra cost to you. Just want to point that out. No additional charge to you. The cost is still the same whether you purchase it through my link or whether you just purchase it straight through the Genetic Matrix site. Okay, so we're going to go to this test person. Remember, we had a test person. We didn't have a name for them, so let's just call them test person. There we go. Birth date was May 24th, 1975. So in the format that they want birth dates to be entered for the form here is 1975. It is May, so it's 05/24, May 24. Birth time was 10:43 a.m. They use a 24-hour clock on Genetic Matrix. If you're not sure, they explain the details here, how to enter that information on a 24-hour clock. It really will affect primarily afternoon times, after lunchtime. So here we go. It was 10:34 a.m. It's entered as 10:34. The country, they were born in Redding, California in the United States. Now in their drop-down menus, you can see they have many, many locations. United States is at the top. So here we go, United States. They were born in Redding, California, and Genetic Matrix completes the rest. And so it sets things up in UTC birth time. So UTC is Greenwich Mean Time. Why does it do that? Is because it gets converted. Your birth time, your local birth time gets converted, or for the person that you're pulling the chart for. Now here's the great thing about this. You do not need to know what UTC time is for every chart. All you need is the local birth time. The database does the rest. Here we go, create my chart. So test person, born May 24th, 1975 at 10:34 a.m. in Redding, California. This is their chart. If you made a mistake entering any data to create a chart, you simply go to this Reset Chart button. It'll send you back to the form. You can start over. If, however, the details are correct, you want to absolutely click on the Save PDF button, and it will generate a PDF chart for you, and then you can just go ahead and save that to the file of your choice. Now, as you can see, here we go. There we go. There is the chart that we just retrieved and we downloaded and saved as a PDF. So this is a great thing. If you ever want to rename them, absolutely you can. Now going back to the Genetic Matrix site, should you decide you want to go a little deeper with charts, perhaps you want to run a whole number of charts, you want to run different kinds of charts, Genetic Matrix has a whole slew of charts, which I don't really have the opportunity to get into here, but it is quite deep in terms of the types of charts that they can run. I will show you though the membership plans very quickly, just so you can see some of the options. So for example, I have the Pro membership, so I have a gazillion chart variations that I can actually retrieve. It has all the pricing here. You can do a day membership, you can do a monthly membership, you can do a yearly membership, entirely up to you. And if you want to order a talking chart, some people do like talking charts, you can order one down here at the bottom. This is all through hdchart.com, which will bring you to the Genetic Matrix site. Let's begin by looking at your type or your energy type according to your human design chart. And with your energy type comes your aura, which I will explain. Genetic matrix chart, you're going to look for the word type here, energy type. Manifesting generator for this chart. Now, what's different about genetic matrix is the way they lay out their information. In the type column, they also include the authority, which I will explain in another video. But just know that if you're looking for your type, otherwise known as your energy type, you want to skip the first word and go straight to what's at the end. There will be one of 5. Manifestor, generator, manifesting generator, projector, or reflector. For Jovian Archive, you actually have 3 different sections that relate to your type. The first is here, type. In this chart, it's manifesting generator. Tied to your type is the strategy for the generator person to respond. And the not self theme, which is another way of saying when you're not operating as your true self, the theme is frustration. When you are encountering resistance, you come up against frustration as a generator type. Now, if we move to the new sunware, this here, you're going to see type manifesting generator, that's your energy type. The not self theme, or the not operating as your true self theme, when you run into resistance, frustration. And the strategy is a little different on the new sunware chart for manifesting generator specifically. They don't just have respond, they have respond, envision, reprocess, inform, act. Those are the 3 pieces tied to energy type. If your type is a manifestor, you are 9% of the population. You are here to initiate in life. Now, your aura is considered closed and repelling. Now, I want to make a note. That does not mean you personally are closed off and repelling, but your aura, when you are operating correctly, is. And it is designed that way on purpose because you are here almost as a fire starter. You're here to put things out and initiate things into the world. You can have an idea and move it into the world as long as your decision-making authority, which I'll explain later, is telling you, go for it. Now, your strategy as a manifestor is to inform. You want to tell people what you're about to do because you are here to initiate and get things started. See, since your energy is made to jump in fast and get things started, it tends to catch others off guard, and they may try to get in your way or stop you. Informing is notifying the people who will be impacted by your actions so they know what to expect. This is not so much about permission, it's about letting them know what you're about to do so they can either join you or get out of your way and let you do it. You see, informing lessens any resistance they may throw your way. Now, what happens when there's resistance and you encounter resistance? Well, that's when your not self theme shows up. Anger. That's what that means. And what is your signature? Now, most charts do not feature signature. Some charts do. And if yours does, what you will notice is the signature for the manifestor is peace. Now, what's a signature? It's when you move to a state of flow. So when things are flowing for you, you are in a state of peace. Generators and manifesting generators. Here we have you together on this slide. Generators are 37% of the population, and manifesting generators are 33% of the population. So together, the generator types make up about 70%, 70% of the population. So generator types, your aura is open and enveloping. It acts like a magnet. You attract people and experiences to you. You are here to create and build by doing what's called right work, which means work you love and that lights you up. If you're doing work you love and that lights you up, you can't stop. You don't want to stop. It recharges your battery. The strategy for the generator is to respond. You are responding to what life brings to you. Your gut or your sacral, which we will talk about in the centers, your gut knows what is correct for you and gives you feedback in the moment, either as a feeling or even guttural sounds, such as which is a yes, or which is a no. The no sensation can be strong, or it also could be a third version, which is no sensation really, or just kind of a flat line. That one I'll call not sure or not now. So 3 possible responses: yes, no, or silence, or means not sure or not now. As I mentioned, doing work that juices you up naturally recharges you. So the more you honor your sacral, your gut, the more it will point you in the right direction of what is correct for you. Now, what is the not self theme when you run into resistance for a generator? It's frustration. And what is the signature when you move into a state of flow? For the generator, it is satisfaction. Now, for manifesting generators, your strategy, once again, is to respond just like the generators. You are responding to what life brings to you, just the same as the generators. Your sacral will communicate to you. However, for manifesting generators, you might, instead of a sacral sound or a sacral feeling, or maybe in addition to, you might also feel your body instantly moving into action at what it says yes to. So when that happens, you want to let other people know of your intentions. Kind of like a manifester, you don't want people to be in your way when you start moving into action. Now, the not self or the resistance, when you run into that resistance, is anger and frustration. You get the combo deal. And the signature when you move into a state of flow is, once again, satisfaction. Projectors, you are 20% of the population. Now, your aura is focused and penetrating, and it typically penetrates another person because you can see them. You have the gift of seeing them. You are not here to work and build in the traditional sense, not like generators. You are here to know others and to guide them when you are recognized and invited to do so. The strategy for you as a projector is to wait for the invitation. And these are for the larger invitations. See, if you push forward or try to push your your observations or your opinions, if you try to push them on people without being recognized or invited, you will not be seen or noticed. When you are seen and invited, well, then you must determine if that invitation is in fact correct for you. If it is not, you could end up burning out by acting on those wrong invitations. So you're not self when you run into resistance. So when you are either not recognized, not invited, or if you accept the wrong invitations and you get burned out, you're not self-theme. Running into resistance is bitterness. And your signature, when you move into a state of flow and you're being recognized, is success. It's not the fame and fortune type of success. It's the feeling of success from being recognized for your abilities. Reflectors. You are the magical unicorns of energy types. You are 1% of the population. You are rare indeed. Your aura is resistant and sampling in its healthy state. You are considered a human barometer. You are here to read the health of the community and the environment. Your strategy is to wait 29 days. The 29 days represents one full cycle of the moon. See, you are greatly influenced by the moon and you get clarity on the big decisions by waiting. Now, what happens if you run into resistance? Your not self-theme is disappointment. And if things are in a state of flow, your signature is surprise, as in a happy surprise. Here we're at your profile. What is your profile? It's how you operate consciously and unconsciously. Your profile is an expression of your personality and the way you naturally orient yourself in the world while expressing your purpose. In other words, it's the how to your purpose. It's how you operate as you be your awesome self. Where do you find profile in the chart? Well, in the genetic matrix chart, if you take a look at the arrow, you'll notice there's a keynote called profile. And in this chart example, the profile is a 1-3 called an investigating martyr or investigator martyr. Now, along with profile comes angle, and angle is in a different section in the chart. As you can see in the genetic matrix chart, angle looks a little odd. It's 3 letters. In this case, RAX. RAX means right angle cross or right angle, and we will talk about that in just a moment. In the Jovian archive chart, as you can see, the profile is in yellow, and under Incarnation Cross, you will see once again right angle, part of right angle cross. The two have a connection. And when you're talking about the new Sunware chart, here we have profile, once again, 1-3 investigating martyr, and in 2 different sections, the angle is listed, right angle cross and right angle personal destiny. So the big question is, where does the profile come from? Well, I'll show you in the chart where we can find it, and I'm using one of the charts as an example. So as you can see at the top, profile here is 1-3. Now, I've highlighted the 1 in yellow and the 3 in blue, so you can see where it comes from. Now, the 1 is actually what we call the line. So as you can see, in this first area, which is the sun, I will walk through the planets in another video, but here we have the gate 7.1. This is line 1. There are 6 lines, so it could be 7.1, 7.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, or 0.6. And that is just based on your birth time calculation. And as you can see, the first one is 7.1, the second one is 13.1. You will notice in any chart, the first line and the second line are identical. So this is where the first number in your profile comes from. It is the line, so the decimal, the line that appears in your sun and your earth on your conscious side. Your conscious side is the black side. It's also called personality in this chart. It's called mind, I believe, in the genetic matrix chart, but they're usually represented on this side of the chart and usually in black. So that's where the first number comes from. The second number in your profile comes from over here on the design or the unconscious side, the red side. As you can see, the decimal here is 0.3. 0.3 for sun and earth, and that makes the 3 in your profile. There are 6 lines in the human design chart, and as you can see, the lines are not just in the top 2 numbers, they're in every number or gate in your chart. The gate is the number that comes before the decimal. The 6 lines represent lines 1 through 6. Number 1, investigator. Line 2, the hermit. Line 3, the martyr. Line 4, the opportunist. Line 5, the heretic. And line 6, the role model. In brief, line 1, investigator, is about research, foundation, and details. The investigator needs to have a deep understanding before acting and needs a solid foundation to feel secure. The line 1 is the perpetual student. The line 2 is called the hermit. Now, the line 2 is naturally gifted and talented, and they like to take time alone to process and preserve energy, hence the name hermit. They tend to be called out. So when others notice their absence and call them to come out and share their talents, that's when they're called out. There are people who have tremendous gifts. Sometimes they may not even realize their gifts. Line 3 is the martyr. The martyr is the experimenter, is the trial and error person. See, the trial and error process and even failing is a natural process for the line 3 to discover what does not work in order to find what does work. They can have several relationships, jobs, places to live, etc., all in an attempt to find out what works. Here we're continuing on with the lines. Line 4, the opportunist. The line 4 is a networker, is a connector. They thrive on friendships and building networks and having contacts. They receive invitations from others, and they must discern which ones are worthwhile. The other thing about a line 4 is they really like things in place. They need to have the next thing lined up or the next step visible in front of them before they are ready or willing to move forward. Line 4s are influential and communicative. Line 5s are heretics. The line 5 is the disruptor. They are the ones to take knowledge and make the knowledge and solutions universal or applicable everywhere or in all cases. They like to take abstract information and generalize it so many people can use it or understood by many people. They challenge the norms, hence the disruptor, and they like to share what is practical in new learning. Sometimes others tend to see line 5s as the hero or savior and project their expectations onto them, something that the line 5s don't do, but that is what they attract. The line 6 is the role model. Now, line 6s have a different process. They have 3 distinct life phases. See, they are line 3 martyrs up until about age 29. So they're in the trial and error process and the experimentation process until age 29. From 29 to 49, they tend to retreat and process life's lessons as if they're on the roof. If you've heard that expression, that's that middle phase for a line 6. They tend to retreat and observe and digest and build their wisdom. And it's called being on the roof. Now, around age 50, they come off the roof and they become a role model, and others gain wisdom from them.